This is the now. This is the notice of demolition, if I can speak clearly. Scheduled for. Well, I guess it doesn't say when. Of this single-family dwelling and cabana. This house is in Encino, California, in Los Angeles County. This is a sad video for me, and I'll tell you why as I walk through the property a little bit. I'm just gonna light this pipe of 8 State Burley. I've been enjoying it so much the last few days. Hey everybody, Bobby here from Grateful Pipe and Cigar. It's been a long while since I've done a video. Haven't felt up to it, haven't felt like there was any reason, but I just drove by this property because I was curious about its status, because I worked for this family for quite a few years when they lived here. Unfortunately, I'm gonna walk. Unfortunately, they were an older couple, and a year or two ago, the man, after battling some kind of maybe a COPD issue, I'm not exactly sure. He had to do oxygen and all kinds of stuff, and his health just declined, and he finally ended up passing away. And so the nice lady who was left, you know, she has some adult kids, and they came and helped her pack everything up, and they moved out of here. Obviously, you can see it's a big house. While they lived here, I know that from about here to here was the original house, and while they lived here, they added on this garage with a full apartment up there on the second floor. And they added on this entry and this whole area, which is now a library inside there. And the reason this is so significant to me is because I actually built this library. Not the structure, but all of that woodwork. I'm actually really surprised to see that there are still books on the shelves. So the man who lived here, he had an amazing book collection because he was an avid reader. So that's his book collection in there. I'm gonna have to relight my pipe a few times because I'm not paying attention to it. Man, this 8 State Burley stuff is really, really good. I put this whole step in here. Originally, they just had this this concrete stopping right here, and a very rough cement pad going to the door. So I added the step and put this stone on here for their entry. I wasn't quite done. Next, I was actually going to put a handrail on both sides. I'm actually going to see if it's open. Okay. That door is locked. I'd like to get inside there and show you that library. So anyway, it's been a couple years since they left the premises, and I mean, this place is gorgeous. As you can see, look, this is a nice little spot to hang out right outside the kitchen. That's the kitchen inside there. This place is wonderful. I mean, it's like, if I could, it would be like a dream to live in a house, to live on a property like this. Clearly, we're in the middle of a city, but this is like an amazing little oasis that they have here. Inside here was the man's office, which I can't get any good shots of. So part of the point of this video is to tell the terrible tale of what happens to these houses in Encino. It's obviously a higher end area right off of Ventura Boulevard. And so what happens when people buy these houses, it seems it's happened, I've watched over the years, it happened to at least 3 or 4 other homes, and it's happening to 2 other homes currently in this one little neighborhood. People buy these older houses and then they demolish the entire thing and have a brand new house built on the property, because a lot of the properties are large. As you can see, I'm still walking back through the property. We've passed this pool. That's the cabana pool house that they built. There's a whole tennis court here. As you can see, the guy played tennis, not professionally or anything, but it was one of his hobbies as a younger man. He played a lot of tennis. He was really in good health until the past few years, his last few years. He declined really rapidly. And that just goes to show you never know, what's going to happen to each one of us, because he was healthy. He did not smoke or anything like that. There used to be a little greenhouse back here, which is obviously gone already. She used to, do all of this planting herself. There's really cool old kids gym, outside play equipment there. Actually, while I was working here, I worked for this nice family for at least 5 years. I would come on Saturdays because I had a regular construction job, and I would just come here to work on Saturdays. So I worked here every Saturday, literally, for about 4 years, almost 5 years. Oh, look this is a persimmon that came off of this persimmon tree. She loved persimmons. And there's quite a few persimmons still left on the tree. So she was English by, I don't know what you call it, by heritage, I guess. And so she was really in love with the whole English I don't know if you call it culture, but she definitely tried to model her home and her property here after an English style, mostly anyway. She actually did most of, this was their master bedroom. She actually did most of the design of the new parts of the house herself. And she had little cardboard models of the house that you could take off the new addition areas and see what the original home looked like. And then you add these big areas to the house, which was the new layout. It was really quite fascinating. Yeah, unfortunately, all these doors are locked. Nobody knows I'm here, so it's probably better that I'm not able to open any of these doors, but I can't really see myself getting in any trouble if I did make my way in to an open door. Oh well. So the sad fact is that this whole home, which is gorgeous and interesting and comfortable and beautiful and all the great adjectives that I could think of, is going to be completely torn down so someone can build. Oh, this is just a closet. It's funny, I never even knew what was in there. That's the only door that's open. Someone's going to tear all this down and build a brand new, bigger house on this property, because the property can certainly fit a bigger house, at least front to back. It's terribly sad. I'm sure it would break this poor woman's heart, or I'm sure it did. I'm sure that they are aware that that's what's going to happen, because we've literally seen it together. Me and them have seen it done to so many other houses in this area. You can see, I'll show you this house over here, right next door. While I was working here, I got to see the old house that was there. And it was a much more modest house than even this one was. You know, like I said, these original houses were much smaller. And then they came and demolished the house, the new owners of the property, and built this big white house right next door. And I was literally working here all through the years that this happened. But man, this is a really great home with immense character. Everything about it is beautiful. This is the library. You see, it's got a giant vaulted ceiling with a loft up there on the top. I put in all this woodwork, the baseboards, and then, man, I really wish I could show you a better shot of this library. It took me quite a while. It took me several years just working Saturdays to put all that in. That's the first library I ever built. I never thought I'd even do that. It's amazing to me. So it's like the end of an era. I really liked them. They were great people. It's very sad. I almost feel, since they were continuing to work on it all the way up until he passed away, I really feel so bad for them, because they did put so much money and so much time and effort and heart and soul into this house. And I feel, hopefully I'm a little wrong about this, I feel like they never really even got to relax and enjoy it. I mean, I'm sure he did. I'm sure while he was still alive, because this library was finished. I can't get any. Okay, and it continues around, and there's another 2 small bookcases on this side of the room that I can't see. I'm sure he spent many evenings sitting in this library reading before he passed away. But still, it's, they just worked on it until he died. And I just feel like, it's so sad that it wasn't finished years ago and they didn't, grow into their old years together, enjoying all of this. So, unfortunately, someone's going to come in with bulldozers and just tear the whole thing down. I have it on authority from the people that lived here that just across the street, which the same thing happened to, we can't really see it from here, but it's that direction, that house over here, that Tim Conway lived there for many years, and the same thing happened to that house. Actually, I don't think they tore that one completely down, but most of the way. And then they built a much bigger house all the way up much closer to the street. That's just what happens. So, that's my video for today. If you haven't tried this 8 State Burley, definitely give it a try. But this video is not necessarily about tobacco. It's about history and progress. The never stopping progress. I mean, it's like a movie set in here. This house is so beautiful. But I'm gonna go now. Goodbye, house. Goodbye, house. I hope you all have a good day. And Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah to all. I hope you're blessed this season. Take it easy, everybody.